Alright, so Koreans, YouTube, stalked, scammed, and hit by a car. My India horror story. Let's check it out.
This gorgeous Korean travel blogger just shared her recent trip to India. And man, what started as an exciting adventure turned into a complete nightmare. In just a few days, she dealt with non-stop stalking, creepy harassment, and scam after scam. And if that wasn't bad enough, the whole thing ended with a nasty car accident. She went there curious about a different culture, but instead got a crash course in misery. One thing after another kept going wrong, pushing her deeper into despair until she finally broke down crying on camera, shouting, "I hate India."
Wow.
Yeah, I'm crying.
This is gonna make people not want to go to India.
Guys, I hate India.
So she
Or that's gonna get a lot of backlash.
India's capital. And on her first day, she decides to take a stroll and check out the local scene. But before she knows it, this seemingly innocent woman and a bunch of kids surround her. Before she can even process what's happening, they're quickly dabbing colorful marks on her forehead and cheeks. At first, she thinks it's some kind of local cultural thing, but she quickly realizes something's not right. Hands start reaching out demanding money. And get this, one of the kids actually tries to stick his hand right into her bag.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like a friendly welcome instantly turns into this elaborate scam. These kids were acting like total brats, and she felt genuinely scared for the first time.
Trying to steal her stuff.
A pack of hungry wolves, ready to pounce and grab whatever they get their hands on.
I believe that.
There was a cop nearby on duty, so she rushes over for help. But even with the police trying to shoo them away, these kids just wouldn't quit. They kept following her around like they were silently saying no money, no freedom. This blatant harassment left her feeling both furious and helpless. And her impression of the city was already getting pretty dark. Some good people couldn't stand watching this anymore and stepped in to help chase the kids away. But these little troublemakers were like sticky tape that just wouldn't come up.
They just want money.
They were obviously part of some organized operation and had developed seriously thick skin. They weren't scared of anyone's threats. And some locals even tried bribing them with tips. Seeing her getting surrounded by more and more people, she had no choice but to buy a ticket and hide inside a tourist attraction to finally shake off those persistent little scams.
Wow.
But just when she thought she could see right outside the attraction, she gets targeted by a group of students. They start following her, constantly shouting, "Wait up," which made her pretty nervous at first. But she quickly figured out these students just wanted to take a selfie with a foreigner. Right after the photo, this sketchy-looking Indian dude slides up to her. She immediately goes on high alert.
I would be scared.
Refusing whatever he wanted and telling him to back off. But this guy had thicker skin than a bathroom wall and just wouldn't leave. Even when she told him she was recording, he didn't care one bit and
she's just trying to smile awkwardly.
Finally, when he realized he wasn't getting anywhere, he actually tried to grab her hand. She wasn't having any of that and quickly dodged out of the way. But that was just the beginning. Her fair skin made her stand out like a sore thumb in the crowd.
Yeah.
And every single day she went out, groups of men would just stare at her with these intense looks. Even though she was used to getting attention, it still felt super uncomfortable. What made it even worse was that kids started harassing her too. While walking down the street, some little boy suddenly pushes up against her and actually touches her. Even though they caught the kid red-handed, this was their turf. And in the end, the kid didn't rat out his buddies. She had to just swallow her anger and let him go. Turns out, in India, as long as you're the opposite gender, countless men will try to get close to you. Even though she found it incredibly
That's shit, man.
The trip had
That is.
The next day, it was seriously hot, so she threw on a t-shirt and shorts to go sightseeing.
It looks like she's in the main city.
That this outfit choice was about to cause her way more trouble. While walking around, this street food stall caught her eye. There were quite a few people sitting there, so she decided to give it a try. The vendor enthusiastically invited her to sit down and taste the food. As for how it tasted, well, let's just say the extra experience that came with this meal was way more memorable than the actual food. The more she ate, the more something fell off. No wonder she kept smelling this awful stench. She looks up and realizes the stall is directly across from a 5-star public restroom. She just shook her head in disbelief, quickly left, and wandered into the local neighborhood.
You gotta be careful when you go over there, man. You don't know if these kids are washing their hands, don't know how they're preparing the food. This is something, I don't know. Like nothing, for me, I don't think India will ever be on my like to go visit. At least not in the main city. If I do go to like India, or ever go to India, it'll definitely be somewhere like where there's nice islands, a nice resort, maybe something like that. I would not spend my time in the main city. That's just me. That's just me. All right. Because you don't know how they're preparing the food. You don't know if they're washing their hands. You don't know. So this is why I probably wouldn't catch myself in the main city. But I know kudos to her. She's brave for doing this.
However, her casual summer outfit immediately drew even more attention from men. They stared at her without any shame, their looks direct and bold. She tried to ignore the discomfort.
They want you.
30 rupees on some fresh-cut papaya from a street vendor, hoping the food would distract her. After just a few steps, this guy in a red shirt comes up to her trying to sell ear cleaning services. She'd already seen this type of scam online, so she firmly turned him down and kept walking, wanting to experience the real side of the city. As evening approached and she was getting ready to head back to her hotel.
Well, she's definitely experiencing the real side of the city, man. This is the real India. She wanted it, she's getting it.
She suddenly noticed this girl in black following her. At first, she didn't think much of it, figuring the girl was just looking for a bus. But when she casually glanced back, she realized the girl was still trailing behind her. Her heart started racing, sensing something was wrong. She deliberately picked up her pace, and wouldn't you know it, the girl sped up too. The distance between them kept getting smaller. When she suddenly turned around, the girl pretended to be looking at something else and slowed down.
Yeah.
Finally, she'd had enough and turned around to confront her directly.
What? Hey, what? You want to say something to me? Why are you keep following me? Why are you keep following me? You want to say something to me? Okay.
Sometimes you have
The
to.
girl in black's intentions were pretty obvious. She was there to steal something.
Yep.
But got busted before she could pull it off. Feeling the danger, she decided to get out of that area immediately, but the taxi drivers started jacking up their prices.
Yeah, they always do that.
The app clearly showed 100 rupees, but the drivers were asking for double. She didn't want to spend the extra money, so she ended up choosing some Indian guy's motorcycle. Even though she felt uneasy about it, she needed to get away fast, so she gritted her teeth and got on. The girl was still pretty pleased with herself for negotiating the price down, completely unaware that trouble was creeping up on her. She put on that helmet that was all shiny with hair grease, climbed onto the motorcycle with excitement, her laughter ringing through the air. But just when she thought everything was going smoothly, some random guy forcefully squeezed onto the bike. Now she's sandwiched between two men, left and right.
That is This is terrifying right here. Two men sandwiches you. You don't even know. Like as a female, you don't know if you're about to get kidnapped. Like this is the thing. You don't even know if you're about to get kidnapped, bro. What if you're about to get kidnapped? That's the only thing that's going through my head. Especially if I had a girlfriend or a daughter or or auntie that was over there and they showed me this, I would be terrified for them, bro. Imagine her how she's feeling right now. This is terrifying.
Incredibly awkward and uncomfortable. While she's still confused about what's happening, the driver tells her that the guy who squeezed on was trying to steal her phone.
Yeah.
That's when it really hit her how messed up this was. The capital city of New Delhi.
All smiling.
So many bad people, it was ridiculous. Knowing she couldn't stay there any longer, the next day she bought some snacks and caught a long-distance bus to Jaipur. The bus environment was pretty rough and dirty, but the 3 passengers she was traveling with were actually pretty cool. They even gave her bananas and other snacks. They were chatting and taking photos to pass the time.
She needs to, like, the thing about it, if as a female, like, I hear you should be able to feel comfortable, but it's very hard. As a female, I feel like you need to travel with a group or with someone else. Traveling solo as a female, bro, people are crazy out here. People do dumb shit out here. I feel like you need, as a female, I wouldn't recommend females to travel by themselves. At least know somebody or a friend that's in the area, or just join a group, man. There's so many groups that travel to these countries. You go as a group, just for safety.
When the bus got on the highway, another incident happened.
Oh.
She and this Indian guy got kicked off the bus by the driver.
Why?
She was totally confused and asked, "Isn't this the highway?" But the bus just drove away without looking back. The crazy part is she wasn't even scared. She actually thought it was kind of interesting. Passing truck drivers kept slowing down, saying they could give her a ride, but the men couldn't get on. Obviously, she wasn't about to get in a truck
No.
by herself.
No.
After walking along the highway for a while, they finally got help from a good Samaritan who gave them a ride. After dealing with that mess all night, the next day she got back on another bus. When she got off the bus, a natural outdoor restroom warmly welcomed her arrival. She found a rickshaw and agreed on 50 rupees to get to her hotel, but turns out the driver had those classic Indian genes too. He went back on his word and demanded 100 rupees.
Oh my
Across
god.
the street at her hotel.
This just looks bad.
She thought she was finally starting a fresh, new chapter of her journey. But she had no idea that the very next day when she stepped outside, she'd get knocked down by a motorcycle. This guy in blue was driving recklessly and slammed right into her, sending her flying. Her tailbone was in serious pain and she couldn't even get up. There were tons of people watching, but the guy who hit her just stood there from a distance, not even bothering to come over and check on her. Fortunately, there happened to be a documentary film crew nearby.
Oh,
When they saw what happened,
lucky
they
her.
immediately came over to help. They had an ambulance and emergency medical equipment with them, so she got quickly loaded up and
She's
checked
gonna have to
out.
pay for all that.
Police showed up to handle the situation and caught the guys who caused the accident. After some back and forth, she suggested that the person who hit her should take her to the hospital for a full checkup. She was worried something might be wrong with her spine. After filling out the police report, the cop actually told the guy who hit her to take her to the hospital on his motorcycle.
What?
She thought that was absolutely
What? The same guy who hit you. You gonna hop in the back of his motorcycle and go to the hospital? Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, this is really sketchy, man. Just watching this video is super sketchy. Super sketchy. Like, how are you gonna hop on the back of the motorcycle? The guy who fully just hit you, you're gonna hop on his motorcycle, trust him to take you? Bro, if the bus driver threw you off on the highway, this guy is just gonna make sure he kicks you off his bike and say adios and just drive off. That's what's gonna happen.
ridiculous. She was in serious pain, and they still wanted her to ride a motorcycle. The guy's friend kept reassuring the police that everything would be fine. She had no choice but to get on the bike. Even more frustrating, the guy who caused the accident was still driving dangerously,
Yeah.
chatting with his friend along the way like nothing had happened. When they got to the local hospital, supposedly the best one around, this doctor who claimed to be a department head examined her. She emphasized that her lower back was really hurting, but the doctor seemed pretty careless. Actually, he was being incredibly half-hearted about it.
Wow.
He just briefly felt around the painful area, decided there was no bleeding, and said some painkillers would do the trick. She was stunned and asked for a full examination, at least a CT scan, but the doctor insisted she go home and take
Sweetheart, this ain't like Korea. This ain't like, you know, America, Canada. They don't do all that fun stuff. You know, they get so many people over there in India. They get so used to having thick skin and like, you know what, too bad. Deal with it. Deal with the pain. Go figure it out yourself. This is what's going to happen. There's too many people. They can't afford all this stuff. You're lucky you're getting this care. I guarantee you, if she wasn't like a Korean or a vlogger or just some local, they wouldn't give her nothing. They would just say, you fell down, get up, go back, get out, go back to work.
the medicine first. If it got worse, she could come back tomorrow. She was completely baffled, took the medicine, and got sent back to her hotel.
Yeah, I can imagine.
After resting for a day, the shock and emotional stress caught up with her, and she got sick in this foreign country. Her voice was hoarse, her forehead was slightly warm, and she clearly had a fever. Being in this foreign place,
No,
she
thank
felt
you.
more helpless than ever before. So she made a snap decision to go home immediately.
Yeah?
As she got on the motorcycle to the airport, her eyes welled up with tears, and she felt this wave of sadness wash over her.
Thank God she's like, I'm going home.
Had been like a nightmare, leaving her physically and emotionally drained. All she wanted was to get out of this place as fast as possible.
I hate India.
Hate India?
Imagine sitting next to your guy driving to the airport. She's lucky he doesn't kick her off.
Why hate?
A lot of people want to scammer me. Scam everywhere.
Yeah, you are so beautiful. That's why.
No way.
That's why?
The reason is that I'm a foreigner.
Yeah, that is
And what a crazy journey that was, right?
that is
This
the
Korean
reason.
vlogger went from being all excited about her India trip to literally breaking down on camera. I mean, after everything she went through, honestly, I get it. You know what really hit me though? Those kids constantly
kids.
hassling tourists for money. Like, it just breaks my heart, you know? These little ones should be running around playing, not out there trying to scam foreigners just to survive. But dude, mad props to this blogger. She's tough as nails for keeping that camera rolling through all that chaos.
Yeah.
Takes real courage.
It does.
Real.
That's hard.
Hold up. Before you bounce, I gotta tell you about this other video I just dropped. It's about another Korean blogger, but this time she went to rural China, and oh my god, the difference is just wow. So get this, the kids there, instead of asking for money, they're literally sharing their snacks with her and showing her.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't do it. After this video, man, ain't going to India.